Hi, I'm Jenny Taylor Martin, a director here at Edgar Cayce's A.R.E., and today I'm speaking with Robert Krajenke. He's the author of Edgar Cayce's Story of the Bible. Hi, Robert. It's nice to have you with us today.
It's good to be here, of course.
How and when did you hear about Edgar Cayce, and what drew you to his readings, especially those on the Bible?
Well, my first wife I met in California. She was from Norfolk, and she knew about Edgar Cayce and wanted to move back and research the readings. That led to me meeting Gladys Davis Turner, who became a spiritual mother to me. We had a really nice connection, and her and her husband Al. Al only talked about three things: Quakers, Edgar Cayce, and the Bible. And through them, they were working on a project for a friend that they were doing out of the kindness of their heart, which was taking a lot of time, but it involved looking up Old Testament biblical incarnations. And that was before computers, and they were going through the card catalog. Well, when I showed up, I got hired for a little part-time job at the press, and I would have lunch with them. And so they realized that they were kind of off their mission by getting involved in this for their friend, and they asked me if I wanted to take over the project. Which, of course, I was glad to, because I was just discovering everything about Cayce, and it was all new and exciting and transformative and just healing and so many things. So I started taking over their work, and I got to realize through these incarnations, and then Gladys brought out Edgar Cayce's Bible class minutes, which hadn't been seen in quite a long time, because Edgar wanted to review them before they got printed. And he died before that happened, so they were never really widely distributed, maybe among the local study groups for a while. But so that put the Bible together in a way that, with from the extracts from the readings, and then Cayce's commentary as a conscious Bible class teacher, it was just such a nice thread of the conscious and unconscious Cayce to tell this great story. And as it emerged, it just changed everything for me about the Bible and what it was really about, and made it all come alive. Because the characters came alive too, because they were living people that had that past life experience, and so it was quite wonderful.
Had you studied the Bible beforehand?
I was raised a Catholic. I sort of got turned off with the ritual and stuff aspect quite young, but I had a spiritual kind of draw to it, which I never understood, because when I would go to church or something, I didn't understand why I felt a pull to go, because it didn't make sense. I even, in college, I took a Bible as literature course to satisfy that. But after 2 or 3 weeks, again, it was something just didn't resonate. So it wasn't until Cayce, and then it all came alive in such a dynamic and wonderful way, useful way, that had life-changing and healing and all kinds of attributes incorporated into the way he approached the Bible.
What were Edgar Cayce's Sunday school notes like?
They weren't, as I think Eula Allen said, that they were more not things that he wrote down ahead of time or transcribed like Gladys did for the readings. They were mostly what people remembered, and it could be what other people contributed. It wasn't all Cayce, but it was all, in his train of thinking. So it was more of a loose connection. But it went from Genesis, to the birth of Jesus. It was the whole story of the Bible told in this form, so that's why it fit so well because the readings themselves, the incarnations fall, like we incarnate in soul groups, so there were periods where there were a lot of readings for one period, say the Genesis, the creation story, the Exodus story, and the rebuilding of the temple, the return from captivity cycle. There were a lot fell into that area, and then there was readings, incarnation dispersed all the way through but without the Bible class minutes, it wouldn't have been the whole story of the Bible. It's been too sparse.
What speaks to you most about the material, and how has it affected your life?
The living God, the living creator, and that we are a portion of an expression of that creator, and that there is something we're connected to that's so big that you really can't understand it. You can understand parts of it. But what I understand is I'm always connected to it. So if I get depressed or off base or confused or rejected or any of the things that flesh is heir to, I know that I'm still connected to that source. That gives me light and life and power, and it's just a matter of how long it takes me to get fully reconnected again. So that's what the Bible, Cayce's Bible gave me, and Cayce's readings in general, that we are really what it means, expressions of the divine.
What value do you think this book offers the ordinary person who may have no religious background or knowledge of Cayce?
Well, of course, that depends on the receptivity of the person, because you don't really, if you're ready and you're at some level you're wanting that spiritual connection, you may not have the training or the belief in a God or whatnot, but something resonates. And that's, I think, it's so powerfully true, his connection, what he brought through. And it's such a great story. You can read it on a story level. And I think if you don't know much about Cayce, you will, you might enter with some hesitancy or something, but if the information continues to ring true for you, you'll get the full, you'll get the awakening and you'll get the interest. And over the years, I've run into people like that they just, it spoke to them and they were so thankful, but they weren't necessarily religious or even Cayceites. It's like universal literature speaks to people, has a universal value if it's true.
Like the Bible, this is the kind of spiritually uplifting book that you just want to keep by your chair or by your bedside. Thank you so much for talking to us, Robert.
Okay.
Edgar Cayce's Story of the Bible is published by A.R.E. Press and available at arecatalog.com.